with everything going on in the world today, I'm not the one that is intimidating people. He is intimidated. You know, I don't have a gun in my automobile. I don't have a knife in my automobile. I don't carry weapons. I don't need to carry weapons.
Absolutely not. You know, there's no need for it.
With him carrying that gun and with him being dressed the way he is, it is a form of intimidation. And I mean, it truly is. So, we're getting ready to come up here to this gas station now. We're going to actually turn around and head back into town and, you know, just enjoy days of traveling. We're just going to be out taking pictures.
Absolutely.
You know, I mean, that's another right giving us the freedom of press, freedom of photography. You know what I mean? With weather getting nice, I plan on being out more and more, taking pictures of, you know, buildings and landscapes and everything else. And then you know, if a public servant wants to come up and question me, he can question me.
Absolutely.
But there are things that I will not, or not things, but there's information that I will not give him because I don't need to.
Absolutely not.
You know, I'm trying to enjoy my life. You know, I'm getting up there in years. You know, I mean, I'll go ahead and tell you, I'm 45, soon to be 46 this year, and just reading about the knowledge that is out there for us to enhance, to grasp hold of and take advantage of. I wish I knew this stuff 20 years ago. I mean, my life would, I guarantee my life would be a lot different than what it is now. Not that I'm ashamed of the life that I have now. I actually enjoy my life. But it's now going to be better because I don't have to give in.
You don't have to be afraid of something that because now you're knowledgeable about what is real and what is illusion. And a lot of people, they live in this illusionary world.
Exactly.
And they live fear-based.
Yeah, the government wants them to live in this illusion.
And population control.
And that's what it is. I mean, every war that has happened, every military movement, if you will, it's all about population control. I mean, I hate to say it, 9/11 was an inside job.
Absolutely.
You know, I mean, stop and think about it. Why would the president be over 1,000 miles away the day that happened? Do you think that was a coincidence? I personally don't. I mean, there's too much evidence to prove that he knew about it ahead of time.
Yeah, but even the explosions on the inner wall of the building, of the Twin Towers, you know, it wasn't caused because the way the building was built, people, the building was built to withstand more structure damage than what it was presumed to be.
Right, exactly. So,
and that's the, you know.
The Twin Towers, that'll definitely be on another day, another video.
Absolutely.
So, but we're traveling back into town now. And let's just sit back and see what happens.
That's just a really nice day.
And another thing, though, I have not seen a cop, which is kind of weird, especially being the town that we're in. I'm not going to say the town that we're in. I don't want to for, you know, I just
don't.
Yeah,
you don't have to.
I don't.
I mean, it's not a detail that needs to be really revealed.
Right.
Know where it's at. You know where it's at. This is what life is all about. It's about enjoying without living in fear.
Like I said, I don't want to get pulled over, but if it happens, it happens.
It's just a really nice day to travel. It really is.
Got a little bit of a breeze coming out of the southwest today. The sun's trying to pop out. Let's go ahead and open this up.
And if there's anything that you guys would like to watch us do, as far as the things that you are afraid of, comment below, you know, and we'll consider those. I think there's probably multiple things that people are very curious about that they have not been educated on, as far as.
And talking about being educated on the schools, the public schools, if you will. I was watching a thing on YouTube last night about this whistleblower. She was actually an educational supervisor that the president actually hired. And the public schools are actually trying to keep us dumb.
Absolutely.
You know, I mean, I'm not saying keep your kids out of public schools, but let's talk to the public schools and see if they can actually show them a different way, you know, on how to teach things that should be brought up. You know, the truth is out there.
You just have to find it.
Exactly. Exactly.
And it's easily accessible.
Oh, yeah, everything's accessible.
But you have to get past the fear-based mindset. There's nothing in this world that is worth being consumed and drowning in fear. There's nothing in this world that you could do that would be better for you than live a fearless life. But that's not what we're seeing today. We're seeing almost, I would say 80%. Wouldn't you say 80% of the, you know?
I don't know about numbers or anything, but I know it shouldn't be as high as it should be. You know, I mean, seriously, the Constitution, it was written for a reason. Some have their theories on why it was written, and, you know, others have their theories. I mean, it's just, you know, hearsay, you know, but read it. You know, educate yourself with it. If there's something you don't understand, reach out to someone who could help you, or just do more research. There's nothing wrong. You cannot do anything wrong by researching and doing more researching and doing more researching. All you can do is become more knowledgeable of your surroundings and the things that are happening with you and your family, your loved ones, and the rest of the land that we are on. I don't like using the terms USA or United States, or even the word states. I live in the Illinois Republic.
And that's exactly what it is, and you're completely right about that.
You know, it's, you know, and I do not operate under commerce in any way, shape, or form. So we're just gonna go ahead and see what happens. We're now back in town, and we'll see what happens. I'm actually gonna go through town and head out toward the south. We were just heading due east, or sorry, due south. We're now heading due north. I'll be turning up here, and we're gonna head east southeast. We'll be taking a ride up here at the second set of lights, if we make it that far. I'm sure we will. This town is it's Sunday today, March 10th. I hope everybody moved their clocks up, so that way they won't be what would that be? Would you be running behind tomorrow?
I think that's what we would all call it.
Or would you actually be ahead an hour? Anyway.
Either way.
Yeah, it's spring forward, guys, so to me, I don't see why we have to change our clocks. If we do, just move everything up a half hour and leave it there. Arizona doesn't change their clocks. Indiana's trying to get it past where they don't have to do theirs either.
Alright, here we go. Yeah, like I said, remember to like and subscribe, you know, so you never miss any notifications. There's going to be a lot more of these videos that Patrick's going to be doing, and we're going to explore the world in our local area. And that's all we're doing. We're just traveling.
Trying to see ahead a little bit, and I can't really tell, man. The vehicles nowadays, they almost blend in. No, that wouldn't have been one anyway. So, like I said, I don't want to get pulled over, and yes, I will look for the cops. And, you know, they're going to do their job. But do they have the RAS, and do they have probable cause PC? You know, RAS is reasonable articulated suspicion of a crime that either has been or is or will be committed to pull me over, because that's really, I mean, traffic infractions, those are just bogus infractions. They have bogus infractions to where they can pry into your personal life.
And that's wrong, people.
You know, that's an invasion of privacy. I mean, yeah, if the cop would pull over, come up to your window and say, hey, I just wanted to let you know you got a headlight out, or you got a tail light out, or was your blinker working, or did you have it on? And if you say, yes, I did have it on.
Okay,
well,
have a good day.
Yeah, exactly. You know, just drop it to that and let it go. But no, they want to pry.
They want a contract.
And exactly, that's one thing I will not do with the state's contract anymore. All right, we're going to go ahead and speed limit's now 55, so I'm going to go ahead and set my cruise control right at that amount. That is what my speedometer is saying that I am doing. So there we go. We're going to go down here and go past the Masonic home that is down here and come back, and then we're going to head west, northwest, and go the other way. You know, and if we don't see a cop, or a cop feels that he would be infringing upon our rights and will just let us be, then we've done exactly what we thought we could do. And the cops down here didn't know that they're doing what they're doing and not not prying on to my person.
There's a balance. There's a balance, and it's important that we all have the balance. We're not imposing on others. We're not harming anybody. We're not breaking any laws. We're upholding the laws, the real laws that people should be educated on. But like you said earlier, you know, they don't want us to know this stuff. They, in my opinion, it's just a way to make money. I mean, in order to make money, there's other ways to do it. You don't have to keep the whole population uneducated, in my opinion. You know, but that's,
nobody should be uneducated.
That's just mine.
I mean, yeah, the schools gave me the basic tools on how to read, write, and do arithmetic. All right, that's basically the whole 13 years. That's 12 years plus kindergarten. You know, they gave me basically the basics.
Right.
And I mean, yeah, I took a government class in high school, and it taught me about the Illinois Constitution, about the U.S. Constitution, you know, and about, you know, mediocre things. They did not express, though, how important this Constitution really is to those who want to live a free life, who want to travel freely amongst the highways, byways, and roadways that you pay for every day when you put fuel in your automobile.
right.
You know, that's what happens.
And back to school, what you were talking about earlier with the school dumbing us down. If you'll look, they've studied the brain of a college dropout and the brain activity of a college dropout compared to a person that has completely dropped out of school. And what they found will surprise you people.
Yeah,
They found dropped out of regular school had more brain activity than the college dropout, the one that went all the way through college nearly and dropped out. A person who dropped out before college has more brain potential. I would say potential. And I noticed that there was more, I would say there was more level of brain activity than the college dropout. And if that doesn't tell you things, I don't know what will.
Oh, well, there's a car. I'll got beat. All right.
And that's what I'm saying. I mean, when you spend so many years in engulfing in I would say in the schools, they are teaching everybody like you said on a second grade level.
Most people, when they graduate high school, do have what's known as a second grade reading education. Now, not saying that they only know what a second grader knows. It's
Or
just
if they're
that
stupid or anything.
They were taught to read and write in verb, adverb context.
Right.
Which is...
Alternative language, right?
No, it's not even, no. I mean, I'm just going to call it the verb, adverb language, a second grade reading education. And that's what it is. But that would be another video on quantum grammar.
Right.
Quantum syntax, which is far beyond college. I mean,
Absolutely.
To actually learn how to read and write at a level far superior than what we were taught in high school. It just astounds me that we are not taught that, you know, about prepositional phrases and how a contract should actually begin and end, how each sentence should be written out. But that's, like I said, that's going to be a whole nother video.
Right. We'll get into that.
Exactly.
But yeah, for sure. I mean, we're all in this life. I mean, we have to do things. We have to step our games up, no matter what position you play in life, you need to make sure that you're not living in fear. That's the main thing. I mean, and I like I said, back to the whole schooling thing. I feel like they're setting us up for the system. You know, so we will abide and obey and listen, take orders without questioning anything. And people get so used to it that they don't even know that they have rights if they're not educated on it. And it's scary, you know. I mean, honestly, a couple years ago, I had no idea that I even had any rights. That's sad, man. That is not good. There needs to be more disclosure in the world.
And that's what it's all about. They don't want to disclose any more information than what they actually need to. Actually, from what they want to, it's actually what we need. This disclosure stuff is just that'll be another topic.
Right.
Another video.
We're just trying to talk, you know, about the basics, the fundamentals, you know, of. Let's go into the pursuit of happiness. What is the pursuit of happiness to you? I mean, what is that?
To me, it's being happy to do whatever I want to do it, whenever I want to do it, and however I want to do it, as long as I'm not infringing on other people's rights, harming others, or destroying public property, you know? To do whatever I want to do, when I want to do it, and however I want to do it. That's what would bring me happiness, you know?
That's about right.
That's basically that's the gist of it.
Right.
I don't know
if
it's the full, but that's my point of view on it.
Right.
You know, I mean, if other people want to join me in my pursuit, then great. The more the merrier.
The more the merrier, people.
You know, I mean, life was given to us X amount of years ago, you know, and then X amount of years ago, you know, people came over here and took away this land from the Native Americans, and then they created this government. And for a few years anyway, it actually, I mean, Congress actually was doing what it was supposed to do. It was living by the Constitution.
And that's what we should all be holding up before anything, in my opinion. Because doesn't that protect us from serving jail time for not even doing anything wrong? Wouldn't you say the Constitution would protect one as long as they're not in the wrong and they're following and abiding the real law?
Yes. All right. Well, we just went all the way down south or east southeast of here, and still traveling.
Really nice day out to travel. And I'm actually glad the snow's finally starting to leave. Or come back later, however you want to look at it.
Actually, I'm going to pull over into the CVS real quick.
Yeah, as long
I
as...
want to check out my dash cam. I think I may have had it set wrong.
Well, that's all right.
Yeah, I know it is. I know. So, let me see here now.
We're still live. Everybody, we're still here. Remember to like and subscribe. We're just driving, but never say that. You're traveling, okay?
Actually,
you're saying you're not driving, okay?
We're not doing anything.
That's the point.
We're sitting here like a bump on a pavement right now.
How you word things, it can either be your best friend or your worst enemy. And notice, anytime that you're just traveling down the road, you're traveling. You're not driving. So what is the term for driving again? What does that word specifically mean to, what is the Supreme Court ruling has ruled that?
Hold on.
Drive.
I will have to look that up here in a few seconds. I'm trying to figure out.
Adjust it so where you can actually see the contact.
No, I'm making sure that, because I know I've had this dash cam on for more than 2 minutes and 50 seconds, 3 minutes.
Yeah, definitely. On this one, I've been rolling for 19 minutes and 48 seconds.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, that one was rolling at least double time of that. So, something ain't right. And you've got the SD card in, but the question is the SD syncing up with that?
Yeah, of course it is. I've already made sure of that.
And back to the, you know, you being 45. You know...
Yeah, I'm old.
Well, think about this. 4 plus 5 equals 9. Okay?
Yeah.
It's debatable, but 9 in numerology is a representation of power. Okay? Not authority. Power. And it just makes sense, you know, that we're traveling amongst our local roads. That is a pursuit of happiness. In our eyes, we should be able to do these things without having unlawful detainment.
No, I've been recording for 14 minutes now. I don't know why I was saying that earlier.
I hope it didn't stop.
Wait a minute, that's 2:04. Hold on.
A lot of the things that you may not even realize that you have the right to do, without you even realizing it. In any circumstance, believe it or not, you have more rights than what you're aware of. So, no matter what, always make sure that you're prepared. Verbally, with the statements that you make in any given situation, because the words you use is how they actually pin you, because the words they use is how they pin. So to avoid getting pinned and to avoid unlawfulness from public servants, you have to know the words that they speak and know why they use them. They're not expecting anybody to be aware of these things. They're assuming that, just like everybody else, we're the sheep, and they're hurting us. And in my opinion, I think it has gotten to that level. You look at all these videos, you look at all of them. I mean, you go to different states. I mean, it's all the same demeanor. But if you look at the different training aspects, you look at the different backgrounds of the different aspects, they're all, no matter what situation, as a matter of fact, in any department, they're all operating off of the same demeanor, and that's why it's predictable. So you have a chance, and you know, under any circumstance, to protect yourself. But you have to be willingly able to not be afraid of something that you shouldn't be afraid of. And that's what it's come to. It's come to everybody is afraid.
All right, well, I think I just fixed my dash cam now. And everything's pointing the right way, looking good. It's a dual cam dash cam. I've got front and side.
That's good.
Here
That's what we need.
In case one of these public servants decides to pull us over and basically try to infringe on my privacy, which by law he cannot do. He don't have the right to do it. I've committed no crime.
Not even at a checkpoint. They can't even do that. A search or inspection. They use different words.
I know they do, and that's definitely going to be another video. I haven't seen any DUI checkpoints in Central Illinois in quite a while now. I know they tried doing one New Year's Eve night. I stayed home New Year's Eve night. I think they tried doing another one on the 4th of July of last year, which, I mean, I don't drink anyway.
Absolutely.
I mean, I haven't drinking over, 8 years now. My last drop of alcohol was February 23rd, 2011. So, I mean, I don't drink anyway. I mean, we were home right after the fireworks anyway that day. So.
Right.
Okay, now we're traveling west-southwest. We're going to go out of town And as we're going out of town, there will be a state police headquarters on a road to the north, which I will not go on. I don't need to travel that way. I've got no reason to.
Absolutely.
So, but we're just going to travel, and I've got some paperwork up on the dashboard. I think Christian was trying to look at it a while ago. I'll go ahead and grab that down if you would, and we'll show the viewers what I've got here. Just go ahead and read the highlighted areas that I have.
The right of the citizen to drive on a public street with freedom from police interference.
Now, with that being said, we have a contradiction in terms, because the word drive has to do with those who are conducting themselves in an activity of commerce.
Business, right? Business, basically, right?
Well, no, because you can travel
To do business.
and do business, and it's just that word drive. I mean, Supreme Court rulings are where you're getting this information from. I mean, I copied them down, or I printed them out and highlighted the specific areas that I wanted a peace officer to know about, public service. And the word, like I said, the word drive is a contradiction in terms to that of the word travel. The word drive has to do with commerce. The word travel, that I'm saying, in the sense of my being, is to not operate under commerce activity. But Supreme Court ruling is using the word drive for non-commercial activity. So again, like I said, excuse me if I use the word drive. I really mean to use the words travel and convey. But as you can see, and as he's reading, Supreme Court ruling uses the word drive.
And it is a fundamental constitutional right. Okay, now this right here, wouldn't that, these numbers, wouldn't that be this is the case where the Supreme Court has actually ruled this to be, how would you word that?
It's just a Supreme Court ruling case, and I would just be reading the first couple of words of that, like, in this case, what's it say right there? Right there.
It says drive.
No, not that. Hold on. Okay, that is actually a, that's actually from a California appellate court. The next one he's going to be reading is People versus Horton. That is an actual court case. I do believe it's a Supreme Court case, and go ahead and read that one that's highlighted.
Okay. The right of the citizen to drive on the public street with freedom from police interference, unless he is engaged in suspicious conduct associated in some manner with criminality, is a fundamental constitutional right which must be protected by the courts.
So then again, a court cannot overrule a Supreme Court ruling that constitutes a fundamental right. So, if a court cannot overthrow it, I really don't think a public servant of the city, a sheriff, or a state police can overthrow a Supreme Court ruling, can they? No, I don't think they can, because
fraudulently they could.
Well, fraudulently, correct. But once a Supreme Court ruling has been classified, or what's the word I'm looking for? Once the Supreme Court has
officialized.
Officialized. There you go. It becomes law of the land. So, I mean, it's just, you know, the cops are going to do whatever they can to extort money out of you. That's what statutes, codes, rules, regulations, and policies are basically are. They're schemes of extortion. And I understand that the state needs to make money. I need to make money, but I'm not going to give my money away on what they consider to be a traffic infraction to pry into my personal life. They want information from me, and why? That's my question. Why? I haven't done anything wrong. I haven't committed a crime. You know?
That's what I'm saying. Mind if I read this one? This next one?
Yeah, go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and turn on to this next road and head back to where we started from.
Travel is not a privilege requiring licensing, vehicle registration, or forced insurances. Persons faced with an unconstitutional licensing law which purports to require a license as a prerequisite to exercise of right may ignore the law and engage with impunity in exercise of such right. That's basically saying what he just got through, you know, talking about. He just basically went into, you know, it broke everything down so you can understand. Basically, it's saying that regardless of, you know, these little, the policies and codes,
statutes, rules and regulations of any given republic, you don't have to abide by them unless you have committed a crime. A crime can only prohibit you from having rights because you've broken the law. You've hurt somebody. You've destroyed some type of property that wasn't your own. You know, it's some criminality. There has to be something criminal about it. You know, and a state code, traffic infraction, you know, a state code saying that you were speeding, you know, or whatever. All he has to do is say, hey, slow down.
Absolutely.
You know, I mean, with all due respect, these speed limits don't really pertain to me because I'm not operating under commerce.
Absolutely.
You know,
you're traveling.
Every speed limit sign is that for those who operate in commerce. And I choose not to, and I won't, because that right there means you have to contract with the state, and I will not contract with any state or republic on this continent. There's no need for me to. Now, if it comes to a time that I need to seek financial assistance and I have to operate under commerce, then and only then will I obtain a driver's license, obtain registration, and obtain vehicular plates for my private automobile along with the forced insurance. I'm not gonna lie, I have insurance because I feel that it shouldn't be forced upon you, but it's it's responsible. You know, I mean, yeah, I could go ahead and not have insurance, and if I was to possibly get in a wreck and found to be at fault, I would just go ahead and pay the person. I'd pay his deductible to where his insurance would kick in, and then he wouldn't have to worry about anything else. Yeah, his rates might go up, but again, that's, to me, insurance companies are extorting money every day from everybody. And,
absolutely.
You know, and when it comes time for you to actually file a claim, they want to jack up your rates.
Yep.
You know, or basically they want to steal from somebody else who's paid their premiums. They want to steal from them to give you money to pay for your problem. It
More
doesn't,
schemes of extortion, wouldn't you say?
well, yeah, that's all it is. I mean, that's all the government and all these companies, you know, the IRS, they extort money from you every day. The police officers extort money from you every day, and then you got the governors who are wanting your donations to be reelected. And I'm sorry with this state being as corrupt as it is, but again, that's another story. You know, it's just funny how things are.
It's funny that a public servant can walk into someone's house after the person told them that they're not allowed in. Let's go outside and talk. and they've already gathered all the intel they needed, all the information for their little investigation to see that there's nothing going on. And to handcuff somebody when no crime's been committed, there was no threat, there was no sign that there was any. So what we're saying here is regardless of whatever the law is, these public servants think that they can just be above it. I've had some people that's even personally encountered public servants that have stated specifically after the question was asked, what, so you can just walk into our home and waive all our unalienable rights? And they said, pretty much. Okay.
Again, if I was in that situation, there would have been a complaint filed. All the officers involved would have given me their name and badge number, and then I would have actually pursued my own investigation to see what gave them the authority to basically prohibit your inalienable rights. I mean, those rights are protected by the Constitution. But anyhow, all right, we're heading back to where we started again, and it's kind of weird. I came down here earlier to my friend's house, and I had passed one city cop, one state cop, and another city cop in the other city that I was in. And since we began to travel without ID or plates on my automobile, I don't have the registration in my automobile, I don't have anything that would that would cause me to self-incriminate myself.
And that's exactly what it is.
In my automobile.
Yep, that's exactly what it is.
I will not self-incriminate. I will not allow or consent to illegal search and seizure while I'm in my pursuit of happiness.
And especially when a person hands over their license or their ID.
You're just consenting to go ahead and pry into my personal life.
Right.
No, you're not going to. Not with me, anyway. What have I done wrong? You tell me what I've done wrong, and if it's not criminal, you're not going to get any information from me.
Absolutely.
If you can prove that I have caused damage to another person or injury to another person and damage to private property, then take me to my accuser. Show me the damage that I have caused. Then we can talk. You know, I mean, I'm not above the law in any way, shape, or form. I'm just not.
But you're abiding by the law.
Right.
And to abide by the law, that means to stand up for your rights, people.
That's right. Stand up for what you believe in. You know, you're given one life. The average life expectancy is 72 years, which is approximately 25 to 26,000 days. A lot of people think that's a lot of time. Like I said, 45 years have already gone by me. I've got maybe 10,000 days left on the average. You know, so I'm going to do what I can to help others.
Absolutely,
help
educate.
myself, help others to learn. I want people to live freely. You know, it's like my YouTube channel. It's called Living Freely, and that's what I want people to do. You know, like I said, I don't have any biological children, but I've got nieces and nephews. I've got friends, loved ones, and I want to help them. You know, that's all I mean, I do work. You know, I work a 40-hour work week with occasional overtime, and in my spare time, this is what I want to do. This is my actual happiness.
So what do you think about the Cubs?
What are we talking about? Are we talking about baseball? Talking about the actual animal itself, I mean, yeah, you see me wearing my Cardinal hat. Yeah, I'm a true Cardinal fan.
You like the Cubs? You're a Cub fan today.
I'm not a Cub fan. I'm not going to say that I don't like the Cubs. I do believe that it took them long enough to win that World Series, and as a Cardinal fan, I will tip my hat to them the year that they won it. Much deserved. But before then, the letters C-U-B-S to me did not spell the word Cubs. It was actually an abbreviation.
Spuck.
Can't understand baseball strategies. But then they won the World Series, and now they can understand them. So, it's just time. Times have changed. I, as a Cardinal fan, I've just got one word for all you Cubby fans: 11. When we are the second most World Series champions. Of course, New York Yankees are number one by like 26, 27 of them. So, I mean, that right there is, I tip my hat to those guys. This lady, she's been riding my bumper for a minute.
I know, I've got it on video too.
Oh, okay. I mean, if I was to slam on my brakes right now, she'd rear end me, but of course I ain't gonna do that.
I know it looks, guys, that it looks like she's at a distance, but she's a lot closer than what it looks. I'd say about a car length, but she's zooming in and out of the car length. So. Yeah, the objects appear closer than they appear. That's kind of weird to have that written. Yeah. Again, they're addressing second graders again.
Right, exactly. All right, we're now going to head north here in this town. And we've almost gone all four directions from the one of the main spots of this town. We've gone south. We're now heading north. We've gone east, southeast. We've gone west, northwest. So, speed limit's 25, and I'm right at that. I will actually slow down here soon. It's Sunday, so no school is in session. Again, we've got some signs up here that are posted. 20 mile per hour speed limit. It's on school days when children are present. So, I'm still not going to go much faster than that.
Absolutely.
So, I mean, there's no need to.
No, of course not.
Enjoy the scenery.
Right, but see, you're balanced. You're balanced. See, you're not opposing anything, but you're not going to oppose your own unalienable rights. You're not going to do it. The knowledge that comes out of this guy's mouth is gold. To me, personally.
I wouldn't say gold.
I call it gold because I know gold is very valuable. Right. And knowledge is very valuable. Just like those David Wynn Miller.
David Wynn Miller, he passed away last June of 2018. And I had learned so much from watching him on YouTube and acquiring the knowledge that he was giving to us for free. I'm telling you right now, it's, quantum or contract law is one thing, but when you've got a guy like David Wynn Miller, and he spells his name differently than say you or I would, and I'm going to start writing my name in that fashion.
Me as well.
Because I am a living being. I am flesh and blood. I have substance. I'm not this fictitious entity that was created the day I was born.
Straw man.
Well, yeah, and I'm glad you coughed on that, because that terminology is actually
outdated.
Right, exactly.
What is it? What is it called now?
I'm not. I know what it's called, but I'm trying to stay within the bounds of the
absolutely
video,
good.
You know, so.
So you've got balance. That's good.
Yeah. One thing at a time. So I mean, we're gonna have many more videos after this one. It just kind of really. I mean, it doesn't upset me, but in a sense, it does upset me. To not see any law enforcement out in this town. I mean, I see it every day on my way to work, every night on my way home from work. I've seen it on the way down here, and now that I'm down here, it's just obsolete.
Decatur.
You know, don't say towns. I don't want to have somebody come at me and say, "Oh, you used our town in your video." Well, you want to know something?
It's freedom of press.
It's
okay.
Yeah, it's freedom of speech.
Freedom of speech, freedom of press. You know,
that is a nice looking car.
It really is. I hope I got that.
There's a nice looking boat.
I really hope I got that.
Anywho.
That's a nice little boat. I hope he's got some burgers on that.
I'll tell you right now, though, it's still a little windy and nipply down here in central Illinois to be out on the lake. I will be doing some fishing this year. I'll be doing some looking for flatheads and blue cats. But again, that's going to be another video.
I want to catch some fish. I'm gonna catch it. I'll catch him. I don't put it off the hook. I'll leave that to you. Water is very relaxing. See, water is flexible, water is strong, water is adaptable. If people would start living like water, we wouldn't have any problems.
Yeah.
He wanted to say, this guy's nuts. This guy likes water too much.
All right.
It's a really nice day to travel. Well, it looks like we don't have any haters.